Come with me to a magical place where being labeled the pork queen is a compliment, where being nice is just a way of life, and where all leaders of the free world must pass through. Welcome to Iowa. Whether you're a current Iowan, an Iowa expat, or an Iowan at heart, this show is for you. This is the Iowa Podcast. Real Iowans, real talk, no drama. I'm Justin Brady, and if you didn't pay attention, Lola's hot sauce, the local hot sauce, hit national distribution in a very, very big way. Taufeek Shah joins us, the founder of Lola's, and you just hit Walmart. Yeah, Walmart, the W-A-L-M-A-R-T, Walmart. That, and for people in the business realm, for people that have a product, what do they call it, CPG company? Yep. Walmart is the big dog. So, let's just start with it's the mini bottles. And how did this happen? This is a huge deal. Even from a national perspective, it's an enormous big deal. So can we just talk broadly? First of all, I'm really excited about it. When you ever see people, Iowa business owners freaking crushing it, it gets me really excited. So first of all, thank you for giving the listeners your time today and coming in the studio.
Awesome, Justin. And thank you for having me here. This is an amazing podcast and just great overall. I'm a huge fan. So, yeah, Walmart, the big W, as we like to call it. It's just, yeah. It's amazing. So we've been a partner with Walmart since 2021 is when we first launched into Walmart. And we actually started with 400 stores, which is our top 4 selling items, which is the original hot sauce, of course. Got to call out the OG.
Yep.
Green jalapeno serrano, our Trinidad scorpion, and then our ghost pepper hot sauces. Now, keep in mind, even though these are the world's hottest peppers, we're doing our hot sauces for great flavor. So you get a chance to taste that pepper without melting your face off.
It is true. It is true. Yeah.
It is. So we started our journey with Walmart in 2021. We had 400 stores with our core hot sauces. In 2022, we added another 200 stores to it, so bringing our total store count to 200. And then just recently, you're absolutely right, we just went enterprise-wide, is what we call it with Walmart, with a new $1 mini bottle. So the same 5-ounce bottles we produce now, it's a 1.75-ounce bottle that you can buy for $1. And they're in every single Walmart. They're in this $1 sauce trial bin. Pretty much customers can come in, they can buy it. Once it's bought, they replenish the inventory through their distribution centers, and we're in every single distribution center now with Walmart. So It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's very difficult just to get in Walmart at all, right? Just to get 400, you said 400 stores in 2021. That's hard enough as it is. But to get national distribution is impossible. You talk to any CPG company, it is impossible. It doesn't happen. Don't bank on it. It will never happen to you. But it happened to you. Was the mini bottle, was that the thing that kind of pushed this deal into reality? Is that kind of what did it?
Yeah. So, just with, you're seeing Walmart, has grown over the past couple of years. They're bringing in new items that, you can find in Whole Foods, items that you can find in every major regional retailer. So Walmart's really changed their business model. And they're also, Walmart is how you get to the masses. They're everywhere. They are the nation's largest retailer, and they're just looking for new innovative ways. And this $1 sauce trial bin has been an amazing project. We work closely with our buyer and Walmart's amazing supplier diversity team, and they just loved our brand, loved our story, and really wanted to put our brand front and center in that bin with all these other great brands. And it just is an honor to be there. And when you say CPG, that means consumer packaged goods. Everybody.
Oh, thank you for doing that. That's normally my job, is to tell people what the acronyms are.
No worries.
Would you like to, I guess you're a co-host on X or Twitter, so would you like to co-host the show,
Taufeek?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, no, so it's really, really cool. What was that the catalyst then that pushed over the deal? Because I know Walmart notoriously, at least in the business community, Walmart notoriously beats up people on price. They are ruthless because they want to be the lowest in the market. And so was that kind of the thing that got them to, $1, or is that what they are, $1 bottles?
Yeah, they're $1.
So was that the thing that got them really excited? Hold up, you can do $1? All right, we got some shelf space for you. Is that kind of the thing that got them excited?
Yeah, so not only is it the price point, the $1 price point for the customer, but when people say Walmart really beats people down in price, it really just depends on your business model, right? For us, we have those margins. Now, Walmart wants to be the low cost leader, which that's always been their business strategy. Sure. They want to provide affordable products for everybody because they cater to the masses. no matter what income level you are, they want to be there. So they were very flexible on this project with us. They're very easy to work with.
Cool. That's good to hear.
And yeah, it's been good. I think the biggest thing is just the overall distribution because, you think about going from 600 stores to 3,200 stores in less, and mind you, Justin.
Gosh, yeah.
Brother, we produced this inventory in like less than 60 days. It was.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, we produced almost 1.8 million units, I want to say, just for the initial fills. And then that doesn't even include the replenishment that sits in the distribution centers.
Oh, yeah, because that's just going to keep happening.
That just keeps happening.
You got to feed the beast now.
You do, if we do. And that's the beauty of it. But this is a holy grail. I mean, it's the dream for a small business like us to really expand.
And we could stop the interview here because big congratulations. Such a huge, it's absolutely amazing. People think maybe this is a little ridiculous, but I get almost getting a little teary just thinking about the story. But so are there plans then to, were you prepared for this? You saw this coming down the pike for a long time, so manufacturing was ready for it. You had the capacity, or are you basically saying, we got a double capacity right now. We got to expand our footprint. Are you looking at other distribution, other locations throughout the country? What's the status there?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So we had about 60 days to get this produced, and we had no manufacturer that could produce these miniature bottles. So we went into our portfolio, and it's a good thing we have a network of manufacturers across the country, here locally in Iowa and Ankeny, and then several others throughout the country. Because, besides Walmart, we're also in every major regional brand. So the beauty is we've always had a good supply chain on our pepper because we use fresh peppers. We've got contracts with our farmers that grow them. So for us to ramp that up, no problem. The tricky part was finding those mini bottles and finding millions of them in such a short amount of time, which, knock on wood, we did it. You know what I mean? We figured it out. We navigated those challenges, and then we did find a manufacturing partner that could help us fill those mini bottles. And once we did that, it's off to the races. And you'll find them for $1 at Walmart, but now the mini bottles are going everywhere. You're finding them in Hy-Vee. You're seeing them in some Fairways are picking them up, and eventually we're going to slowly roll them to other retailers. But really, Walmart's going to have the best cost.
And so how many retailers are you in right now? You gave a local shout out to Hy-Vee. They've been a partner for a while. I think Walgreens, right? Can you give us just a full list so people know?
Yeah, so we're in over 20,000 different retailers and restaurants in North America. Local partners, amazing. Fairway, Hy-Vee, Casey's, Maverick now come and go now Maverick. Yeah. And of course we're in every major regional. So we're in the Myers, the H-E-Bs, the Hannafords, Winn-Dixies of the world, Albertson Safeway. I know there's some that I miss, and if you're listening to this, know that there's just a lot, and we thank you for the partnership. So, but we're in every major regional retailer, and then national, we're in Lowe's Home Improvement stores. Yeah. Walgreens, which you had mentioned, and then of course now Walmart. So our brand's grown, and then we're also in Canada. So Canada, we actually we're in a grocery chain called Farm Boy, which is about 90 stores. We just got a deal with Metro Grocers, which is Canada's third largest grocery chain. So we'll be launching, I think it's about 400 stores over the next 60 days. Wow. And then we did just get Walmart Canada.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do Canadians like hot sauce?
They love it. They love
really?
it. Yeah, especially our brand, because you got to think like Canada, and I've been going there once a month now just for, meetings and understanding the market. There's so much diversity up there. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing to see it. Like Toronto, it's like the littlest, biggest New York City, but everybody there is, they're from Asia or they're from India or Southeast Asia. It's quite an interesting demographic.
Yeah, I always think of like Americans, hot sauce, south of the border, hot sauce. Think of like maybe Northern or Europeans, kind of like, we don't really care, So it's interesting. I was like, I never thought about like, do Canadians like hot sauce or not? I have no idea.
They do, and they love Lola's.
And now you mentioned the Lowe's partnership, which is kind of interesting. Like, a hardware store, and people forget they do sell some products.
They do.
There was this. I don't understand what this is. You're gonna have to explain this to me. But there was this Damon John, of course, for those that don't know, Shark Tank guy, and Lowe's thing where you won, like, I have it written down here, one of the best new products in America with the Lowe's executive team and Shark Tank investor Damon John. What was that about?
Yeah, so that was all. I mean, that was completely random. It was just one of the most amazing experiences that I had gone through in my entire life, and truly thankful for it, because that program was the catalyst of what took us to where we are today. It really catapulted us. So that program was Damon John from Shark Tank partnered with Lowe's Home Improvement Stores, not as an investor, but as more of a marketer to help get your brand in front of the key decision makers at Lowe's Home Improvement Stores. Because believe it or not, Lowe's, I think, is the second or third largest retailer in the world. Like not many people know that. They think hardware store, but they've got like 2,500 plus stores, and those stores are huge. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So anyways, it was kind of a cool little thing. You know, Damon John was, promoting his thing on social media. Send me your quick pitch video. Here's my email. So I created a quick pitch video. I mean,
nice.
It was 2020.
Yeah.
Sent it over to Damon, and then I got a call back within a week from some people from Lowe's, and they said, "Hey, we loved your pitch. Send us another."
Nice.
Sent another, and then they're like, "Hey, can you do another one? You're in the top 50." And I'm like, "Whoa, this is actually a reality." Sent it in, and then finally was in the top 3.
Yeah,
so
this is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
When are you bringing Damon John to Des Moines then?
Hopefully soon. He was actually just here a couple years ago at the Black and Brown Business Summit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So is there a chance then you bring him to Lola's and do like a cool event?
I hope so, Damon. If you're listening to this, let's get you out here again, brother. He's such an amazing guy. He's really cool.
He's a really cool guy. He's I always call him the shark with heart.
Yes.
Like he can see through people's soul. It's creepy. It's what an incredible skill as an investor. Absolutely incredible. And like I feel like some of the people on that show, I don't know what it is, but I feel like they're kind of throwing some like curveballs at the sharks. They're not being completely honest.
Right.
And he sees, and I know it's a show. I get it, everybody, but I feel like he sees right through people pretty quickly. I got to ask this. If an entrepreneur came to me, a lot of the people on the show know this is not my full-time gig. I work with like companies and But if if an entrepreneur came to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to start a business," I'd be like, "Good, that's awesome. And I'm going to do hot sauce." I'd be like, "You have lost your mind. That is the dumbest idea because hot sauce is so competitive. Like I can name off the top of my head Cholula, Tabasco, Sriracha, Frank's Red Hot, right? I can name those. I can name more hot sauces than I can like colas or frozen pizzas, right? So it's so competitive, which again speaks to like how good the product is and how aggressive you've been working on this. But why hot sauce? Like, did you ever think this is a brutal industry? It's retail, there are distribution challenges, there's shelf space I'm going to literally have to stab people to get. Did you ever think I'm insane? Hot sauce will never happen.
Not once did I ever doubt myself. And the thing is when I jumped...
So you're crazy is what you're telling people.
Very crazy. We talk about heart, right? And it really is all about heart because for me... growing up, I come from an immigrant family. Dad's from Pakistan, mom's from the Philippines. They both came here with no money in their pockets. Yes, they were doctors, but they didn't have a penny to their name. They came to Iowa in the 80s to take care of local farmers and try to make a living. So growing up, it's that entrepreneur mindset from both my mom and dad. Like, hey, they came here with no money. I've got an opportunity that they've never had. So when this whole opportunity came about, which was me bringing some of my mom's hot sauce in for a food day, stuff that I just been eating since I was a kid, and people's faces melted when they tried it. It was something that I poured my whole heart and soul over. I obsessed over the whole thing, and I've obsessed over it from day one, and I still obsess over it to today. And not once did I even think to look at the market. Yeah, I knew there was, the Frank's Red Hots, the Cholulas of the world. But, if you think about it, now that we're more organized and we use data and we're very agile and strategic with how we land deals and pursue deals, I wasn't thinking that back then. I was thinking this mindset. The mindset is my parents came here with no money. I'm going to come here and take something that my mom had been making her whole life, that people love, local farmers love, something that was delicious, and just share it with the world. Because my mom essentially took care of me by herself growing up. Because my dad was in the Army. He served 20 years in the U.S. Army, actively deployed most of my life while I was gone. And my mom, she worked at a small medical practice in Winthrop, Iowa. You know what I mean? Like the town we were in was 700 people, and she would always moonlight too in the evenings at a neighboring town called Independence at the nursing home over there just to make extra income so she could take care of us. Because starting your own medical practice is not easy, especially in a very small rural community. So I saw how hard my mom worked, but she was always there to support not only me and my sisters, but for me, this was my way of saying, thank you, Mom. This is an amazing thing. And we have not lost sight of that. So To answer your question, yes, people thought I was crazy when I started this hot sauce company. I can't tell you how many people would send me messages of like the hot sauce aisle and be like, oh, there's a lot of competition here. How are you going to do this?
It's a whole freaking wall.
Exactly. And and it's to like what you said, Justin, there's so many hot sauce companies that are coming out every single day. It's like you can really spot the difference between a hobby and a real brand, right? A real brand is passionate about what the flavor is, what the product is, what we're delivering to our customer. And a hobby is, I've got a hot sauce company. It's the best hot sauce in the world, right?
It's a friend that said, you should sell this.
It's a friend that you said, you should sell this. Like there has to be a story. There has to be a strategy. And you have to just add so much value to your customer that buys it. And that's really what we're doing. And we're competing against the big dogs. I mean, we're trying.
And that's like and I don't say this, because I wasn't, I assumed probably eventually in the future you'd be on the show, right? Local, cool brand, hot sauce. But before that, we always have, and I don't say this just because you're in the studio, we always have a bottle of Lola's in the fridge, or 2 or 3. Seriously.
I got packets.
Now we have packets. I don't need packets. I have the bottles in my fridge. But this is like the first time I bought it, I think I met you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to support a local business. In the back of my mind, I'm like, cool dude, Taufeek's a cool dude. I'll support a local business, buy a couple bottles. It's not a huge thing, but it'll make a difference. Whatever. I got to support Iowa businesses. And I fully expected that it's going to be average. I'm probably not going to buy it again. I'll go back to Tabasco. That was what I thought because I was a big Tabasco fan. And we kept buying it. Over and over and over. We buy a lot of it. I'm not kidding. We mix it into recipes.
Awesome.
Like one of the best cheat codes in like life is breakfast. Like I make breakfast for my wife on the weekends and just drizzling that on your eggs. Butter in the pan, scramble eggs or over easy or sunny side up eggs, drizzle Lolas on top. The reason that works though is because what you said earlier, which was a lot of hot sauces focus on just heat. And there's a little bit of chili in there, but Lola's really does have a lot of deep flavor I can't get anywhere else. It really does have flavor. And a lot of people overlook that. It's a race of like burning your mouth off.
Right.
Right. And that's what they focus on. The bro factor, getting it super hot, how hot can we make it? Everyone thinks of like hot ones.
Yep.
But you went a different direction, truthfully. You went the direction of, this is a hot sauce everybody can have. And this is not a paid ad, by the way. It's starting to kind of sound like it.
Man, you are really talking it up here.
It kind of sounds like it. I promise it's not. But yeah, you went the route of flavor. But I do have to go back to that one other question, though, because I wanted to get this in here. Are there plans on like other manufacturing facilities in the future? Because it is good stuff, but you and I both know the truth, which is doesn't really matter if it's the better product. It matters if you have great distribution and a great strategy, roll it out there. It's the biggest mistake business owners make is they think if I just make a great product, the world will be a path to my door. It's like the mousetrap,
Yep.
It's not true. It's never happened in the history of the world. So clearly you have this strategy to continue this growth and scale. So are there strategies to build out new facilities? Or are you going to try to do it all here from Iowa?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we've already diversified our manufacturing portfolio. So not only do we have a place here in Iowa that works with us on some products, but we've expanded our footprint to Florida. So we have a new manufacturing plant in Florida that we're getting ready to onboard. Actually, they're producing for us some items down there for the Florida region because, as you know, there's Publix, there's Winn-Dixie, and that's such a hard market to crack. And we did just launch in all 400 Winn-Dixie stores. So, but yes, to answer your question, Justin, it really comes down to the quality of manufacturing because hot sauce is not like your everyday sauce, right? You can go hire somebody to make a salsa or a salad dressing or a ranch or whatever, but to do hot sauce, especially the way that we do it, because, all these other brands like Texas Pete and all these other brands, not saying anything bad against them. They've been around for generations and they're legends, but you look at the salt content and the first ingredient's vinegar, high in salt, high in vinegar. Some of them have stabilizers like sodium benzoate or xanthan gum as a high thickener. For Lola's, you look at the very first ingredient, it's red jalapenos. Like our first ingredient is pure pepper, and we're bringing in fresh pepper and creating our own proprietary pepper mashes.
So that's why the flavor.
That's why the flavor.
Sure.
And that's what we're all about, is we're all about that flavor. And you're absolutely right. We took it the opposite direction. Yes, we do have the family reserve, which I got for you right there. That sucker's hot.
That's what that is?
No, the
this
one in the box.
He did bring treats, everybody.
I did bring some goodies.
I'll take a photo and put those on iowapodcast.com so you can see them for sure.
Yeah, so that's our age. That one's barrel-aged Carolina Reaper peppers. It's hot.
All right.
So you want something that makes you cry for the heat junkie. That's it.
My sinuses are a little plugged today, so maybe I'll do shots of this.
Please do. We should totally do one together.
Oh, yeah. We'll stick around
I'm going to get
after.
something in my belly first. But yeah, we took it the complete opposite direction where we want you to be able to add this to your food, and we want it to be a flavor enhancer, right? Because who wants to put something on their food and just cry the whole time? Yeah, there might be one or two people, or one out of every 50 people wants to do that, but we wanted to deliver something that my mom has always done, which was create good food and something that complements and enhances the cuisine.
It's a totally different market, too. Like, there's not a ton of people that are just wanting to burn themselves and say, dude, I bet you can handle this. That's not a huge market.
Yeah.
But what is a huge market is people who are going to put it on eggs every Saturday and put it in their chili and put it in their dishes. And
yes.
There have been times where we've been making like a lot of food and I've dumped half a bottle in there, you know?
And it's good for you too. It's so healthy.
So when's the Florida facility come online then?
Yeah, so it's already been online. We're actually going down there next week to film a video with Southeastern Grocers and that facility.
Oh, cool.
It's been awesome.
Cool. So in this journey, like, journeys from... You started, correct me if I'm wrong, you started in a West Des Moines, in the Valley Junction West Des Moines farmers market? Is this right? Just one little farmers market shop? Is this really how it started?
It did, yeah. So we started in the Valley Junction farmers market, and unbeknownst to me at the time, when I was using my craft Avery labels and my mom and I were bottling everything by hand,
Yes, Avery labels, that's great.
Avery labels. We were doing it in our house, and we found out you're not supposed to do it in your house. You got to do it in a commercial kitchen. So eventually we rented out a restaurant. It's I think it's where the old Billy V's is still there. I'm not sure, but it used to be a Mexican restaurant called Tres Amigos. And it was a bar. So, I talked to the owner. I said, hey, man, can I come in and just cook some hot sauce here in the evenings? And yeah, we did. We cooked hot sauce from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. every morning.
Oh, my gosh.
And worked full time.
Yeah, because they're not using the kitchen at that time.
Correct.
Brilliant.
It was a bar, too. So they were the only one that would give me kitchen space. So I asked everybody else. It's tough.
That is such a good lesson for entrepreneurs, I think, and for businesses, because someone was asking me the other day, they're like, hey, I really need to expand, and I need to hire these people to keep up, and I need to do this. And I'm like, that's capital heavy stuff, dude. That's capital. Like, try to find ways where you can expand and not have to invest in all this capital heavy stuff. So had you said, we want to expand, we want to get in a commercial kitchen, I'll just do a real estate play. Like, you may not be here today, but because you slowly scaled and kept it scrappy, that allowed you to survive the long haul, and that allowed to get you where you are today. I want to talk about the long haul a little bit, because every journey like yours has those moments where you're like, that's it. Like, we're done. It's, you have the smiling face on the surface. You tell your retailers, we're going to get through it. It's going to be fine. You tell your employees, your partners, it's going to be fine. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I think we're done. Can you think back to one of those moments where, like, this is it? I've in the back of my mind, I'm terrified, like you're throwing up in the basement, whatever the scenario was. Can you take us back to one of those moments?
Yeah, I mean, I've had many of those moments in this business. I'm trying to think of the most pivotal one. So I remember one time, it was early 2019. We had just won a really large deal. I'm trying to think of the retailer that we won. It was through a national distributor that we partner with. It was on the West Coast. I think it was on the East Coast. It was Stop and Shop. That's what it was. Giant Stop and Shop. Excuse me. Anyways, we had won that deal, but unbeknownst to me that there were slotting fees associated with this deal. Now, I didn't see that. Now, this was when we were a two-man show. It was me and a part-time admin and everything rocking and rolling there. And I didn't see that. You know what I mean? And I just signed all the paperwork blindly, like, hey, this is cool. And, what I'm thinking in my mind is a big, for me, a six-figure deal. Not the first, but one of the few six-figure deals we had. I was thinking, man, this is going to be awesome. Then I get hit with this massive bill back. My stomach dropped. We were expected to get paid X, and we got paid Y, which was about 80% less of what that check was supposed to be. So, I remember I was flying home on a plane from another meeting. I think we had presented to another retailer, or I had presented to one in the Northeast. And I was just almost in tears on that flight. I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to figure this out? Luckily we were able to power through it. I called, my manufacturing partner and I said, hey, I had no idea that this retailer was going to do this or this distributor was. It's my fault. Would you be able to work with me on helping me out with some of these payment terms? And, we had a great manufacturing partner. And they said, yeah, you bet. We got you. And so because of that, we were able to power through some of the things. And then COVID hit. You know what I mean? And it was like, whoa, okay. So then that happened. But, crazy enough as it was, COVID was almost like a catalyst for our business because a lot of people were buying our products. Now, where we ran into new challenges, people were panic buying. Lola's was one of the top items on the list, knock on wood, and we're blessed. It was wild.
Wait, Lola, so when people are panic buying, Lola's is one of the top things on the list?
It was wild. We had our order frequency.
Oh, my word.
Just went through the roof.
That's hilarious.
I know. I was like, this is real? Is this really happening?
The world is ending. Buy Lola's. We were at the store. We noticed there was a shortage of limes and garlic.
Yeah.
And so it's like limes, garlic, and Lola's. That's fantastic.
It was just a wild time, but we ran into new challenges, right? The good thing was we were able to cycle through a lot of inventory a lot faster than we would. Get paid a lot faster, which really helped our brand get through a lot of these tough times that just kept hitting. But then we ran into new challenges because then the bigger challenges were inflation, right? Rising costs of goods, distribution costs, finding people to work, struggles with manufacturing. So
supply chain was brought to its knees.
It was just destroyed. It was unreal. I think there was a period of time because we had just launched some salsas. I think we were out of our salsas for 5 months. Almost.
Jeez.
Yeah, we couldn't get tomatoes. Or if we did, they were double or triple in price.
Sure.
So I was like,
word.
That was another moment. That leads into the second moment. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? This is insane. You know what I mean? And then, I was cold plunging every day.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the sauna for 45 minutes. I was working out super hard just to clear my mind to understand how we're going to navigate through these challenges. Luckily, we found a banking partner that helped us through it. So we were able to grow. And then what I did was once we were well capitalized to continue to grow, I went to the local farmers and I said, you know what? We can't be at the mercy of these third parties or distributors.
Interesting.
And I went directly to them myself. I just found where they were producing. I did a lot of research, a lot of YouTube University, and flew out to meet some of these growers and farmers and said, look, we want to buy directly from you. I know you're selling to our distributors. We're going to go around them because our distributors are jacking the price up on us.
And screwing up the supply chain. Like we can't get it from them anyway. So,
100%. Yeah. And I said, hey, we're a small business. We're really just trying to grow and keep these things going. And we figured it out. And we were able to make things work and expand our portfolio.
Is this because of like the cooking at home thing? A lot of people were like essentially forced to cook at home.
Yeah.
Restaurants. And then, if I don't know, if I want to add some spice to my dish and like add a little flair and keep in mind, my wife is an extremely, she's not formally trained as a chef, but she makes most chefs look like idiots. Like she's incredibly talented. We use it because it has this certain flavor profile that is very favorable in a lot of dishes. But I can also see rookie chefs that have zero experience that want to add a little bit of a flavor profile, just throwing it in there.
Yep.
And is this what a lot of people were doing? They're like, I want to make food. I'm not a very talented cook. I don't have a lot of recipe options, but I can add some interest and flavor if I throw some Lolas in it. Is that essentially what was going on?
Absolutely. And I think people's overall, I think really during, COVID and, kind of being locked down for that extended period of time, people were trying things that they normally wouldn't try, got them out of their comfort zones to try different things. So, once they realized that Lola's, has, jalapenos, it's got garlic, it's got lime juice, and it's very garlic heavy in our sauce because that's really a Filipino thing is garlic is just everything. Oh yeah. We use
maybe I have a little bit of Filipino in my blood somewhere. I don't know.
Probably.
So do you think, I like the story about how COVID caused you to look at new solutions for your own supply chain, your own sourcing. This is a pattern. I'm starting to hear businesses, local businesses, but even national businesses are trying to go as close as possible to like local farmers and local sourcing. It used to be a feel good, stamp the local thing on your company. It's kind of leaving that. It's getting into a very serious strategy where manufacturers and companies making products are saying, no, it actually makes more sense to source locally. We get better quality, and we're further insulated from like supply chain disruptions that we just saw. I think COVID was a big lesson, especially to a lot of U.S. manufacturers that told all of them, if you rely on these massive global supply chains, they are thin as paper. They can break with just the lightest little blow. Is this kind of a new strategy you're seeing companies like yourself do, trying to source as local as possible for quality purposes, but also for like strategic future growth?
Absolutely. So not only local, but we're seeing, opportunities internationally, right? A lot of goods previously had come from China. And I just know this from, secondhand information from some of our manufacturers, that gather their goods from there or purchase them, but they're looking at other places like India or local or switching to different places. But local has always been the focus for our brand. Obviously peppers and garlic, the amount of peppers and garlic we go, peppers aren't native to Iowa. So that's kind of hard to get, but we do try to source as much as we can locally. And even then, the biggest thing for us is getting things domestically. So, as long as we're sourcing within our country and trying our best to do that. Now, we can't do that with every single ingredient, but we definitely try. And I know a lot of larger organizations are trying to do that, but also some entities like, not putting the big W on a pedestal, but, I was just down in Bentonville speaking with them at their Supplier Diversity Conference and Made in America Conference. And their big push is procurement, right? So they're looking to help businesses that were normally like one small, like let's say you're our garlic grower here in Des Moines, Iowa, or Northeast Iowa. They're looking to help you scale if you can produce products. So there's a lot of focus on how can we help and give back to the community, and how can we get you guys to help grow for our product line. Which really is an all ships rise sort of movement. And at Lola's, we're no exception. We try our best to do that. It is tricky, but we try.
Last question.
Sure.
You have the hot sauces, you have the salsas, you have, did you say biscuits?
We don't have the biscuits anymore. So
what are the full product line? What's the full product line? I don't want to miss it.
Sure.
You have the hot sauces, you have the salsas.
Yeah, so hot sauces, salsas, we've got our seasoning, and we have a spicy ketchup. And then we have the co-branded snacks with Casey's. So if you go to Casey's.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, those are amazing. And we actually have a couple of new items coming out too. So we're launching a hot honey for food service in the next month.
Yes.
But really that hot honey was propelled by Fairway, because if you look at Fairway, they're going to be launching a hot honey co-branded with Lola's. And I'm so excited for this. I think that drops in stores maybe in the next 30 to 60 days, but it's a Fairway hot honey product featuring Lola's, similar to what we have with Casey's, but it's so good. They've got a flavor profile match of our hot sauce that's infused to 100% honey. It's just so good.
Good, because hot honey sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I've tried so many, and they're not good. Yeah. So we actually make our own at home.
That's awesome.
We actually, with seasonings, so that'll be nice to pick some up when we just don't want to make it.
Yeah.
Anything. So the hot honey comes out. Is that public knowledge yet, the hot honey? Or?
Kind of is, yes. So it's actually dropping with Fairway. So you can only get it there as a Fairway exclusive. So that's coming out. I'm not sure when, but I've got permission to tease it, because we want this to be amazing, and it's an amazing thing. It's made in Iowa. It's got a lot of great things. And I'm trying to think of a couple of other items that we have coming out. We have a new spicy street salsa and a spicy tropical pico de gallo. You can find this at all your Hy-Vee stores. It's actually a co-branded item. Actually, with not really a co-branded item, it's a Hy-Vee exclusive, but it's infused with Lola's hot sauce, and it's in the perishable aisle. So where you buy the refrigerated salsas and picos, you're going to have that. And actually Lafredo, another great local Iowa company here, produces that for us. So
anything else on the product roadmap people need to be aware of?
We've got like 7 new items, but I can't share those.
Share one. Just one.
Trying to think of what I can and cannot share.
It's okay. No one listens to this show anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
I will say that there is a very large convenience store chain that we're working on that already has some snacks of ours. And we're working on some new opportunities with them. So once those come to fruition, we'll let you know.
All right. Yeah. Please do. Taufeek Shah, founder of Lola's Fine Hot Sauce. And eventually you'll probably just change the name to Lola's.
I know.
And other things.
We're working on it. That's a good catch.
Yeah. Because it's your Apple computer moment. There was this moment when they're like, we're not just about computers anymore.
Exactly.
Taufeek, thank you so much for coming on the show. Give out the website so people can pick stuff up and learn about the entire product.
Yeah, absolutely. Please go to lolasfinehot.com powerhouse.com. You can find us online, sign up, get 10% off, follow us on X, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook, Meta, the whole 9 yards at Lola's Fine Hot Sauce.
Absolutely. Taufeek Shah, founder of Lola's Fine Hot Sauce. Congratulations on absolutely massive success that most entrepreneurs in the entire world just dream of and never get there. So congratulations and thank you for coming on the Iowa Podcast.
Thank you, Justin. This is amazing. Thanks.
And to my fellow Iowans, Iowa expats, and Iowans at heart, thanks for listening and subscribing to the Iowa Podcast.